What began as a tiny pinprick of blue light against the dark of space slowly grew over the course of several weeks until all that was visible through the Conservationist ship's forward window was the azure facade of Neptune. The Conservationists watched as white methane clouds were whipped up like sea foam and dragged around the planet at hundreds of miles an hour before curling into eddies and dissipating. The planet truly lived up to its namesake. Its swirling form was a good distraction as she waited for incoming communications from the financier of her mission. After a few minutes, a message arrived. "Some species must be forced to survive against their will," the benefactor said. "I understand," responded the conservationist. "I merely was not aware of any species endemic to Neptune's moon." Another few minutes passed. A storm was brewing on Neptune's surface. An upwelling from the abyss of the planet darkened an area with the radius of Earth. "The last human," said the benefactor. "What do you mean, the last human? Aren't we all human?" asked the conservationist. "No, none of us are human enough," said the benefactor. "Not human as he is." "So this is about genetic purity?" asked the conservationist. There was a pause, long even by the standards of interplanetary communication. "Yes. Is that a problem?" asked the benefactor. "I'll do my job," said the conservationist. "Good," said the benefactor. "As you know, Triton will succumb to Neptune's Roche limit in just a few short days. Your target has unfortunately decided to attend this cosmic event and share Triton's fate. You will be paid upon his extraction from the planetary system. I'm sending further information by neural download." The conservationist switched off the comm screen and leaned back in her seat. Not human enough? She stared down at her semi-translucent body and shook her head. Perhaps it was true that humanity had lost its thread among the stars, but such ideas were not the topic of polite conversation. She usually felt human enough. To the conservationist, to be human was to be part of a stream of consciousness and society that had been passed down for 3.6 billion years. It wasn't about pure Homo sapiens genetics, but about what was gained through passed down science, tradition, and common goals. Her benefactor clearly disagreed. She flipped through the mission information in her head. This would be an especially delicate operation, as she would need to work fast, because in a few days Triton would be ripped apart by Neptune's gravity. The conservationist sighed. She wasn't a therapist. How was she supposed to convince this ancient fool that it wasn't his destiny to be torn apart and fall into Neptune?